I studied something called QiGong, right? And your Chi is your energy. You cannot give out all of your energy. You spend your time cultivating and saving that energy. And we could talk more about that, but
let's talk more about it. Like how'd you get into that? Is that what you're doing when you're doing the little thing? No, absolutely. It looks super serene and meditational. How'd you get into that?
So this is a part of, understanding yourself, right? I guess let me start this from the beginning. I guess a few years ago, I was looking for something, just something more out of life. I don't know what it was. I've kind of been through religion a little bit, sports, entertainment, and I'm just like, man, I feel like I'm missing, something that I can kind of hold on, and believe in. So anyway, I'm on Twitter and this girl tweets, she's like, Dr. Strange woke AF, AF woke as fuck, who doesn't know what AF stands for, but she tweeted, Dr. Strange woke AF. And I was like, really? She was like, yeah. She's like, you haven't seen it? I was like, no, I haven't. She's like, you should watch it. It's really good. I'm like, okay. So I go watch Doctor Strange. And if you haven't seen Doctor Strange is about a man who was a brilliant doctor and a surgeon. And he gets into this car wreck and he loses the ability to use his hand. He then finds out about a guy who is in a similar situation, but he healed himself. And he was like, I need to find out how this happened. How did this guy heal himself? And so he goes and finds this temple and this monk, and he learns how to heal himself, and then he becomes Doctor Strange. And I was like, that's what I need. I'm like, I need to find a monk. But I'm like, this is crazy though. Like I can't find a monk. Like where would I find a monk? Like this is like, what am I going to go to the yellow pages? I'm showing my age now. Look up monk, temple, and just roll into a temple and be like, hey, accept me, for who I am or whatever. And show me the way. So the next week, it might have been the next day, I think. And I had dinner with a friend of mine who's friends with Rick Smith. And I'm talking to her. I said, man, I had a funny thought the other day. And she's like, what's up? And I told her about Dr. Strange and the tweet. And I was like, yeah, I just been feeling like I've been needing something more, in my life. And, I'm feeling kind of sick, and I'm like, I think I just, I think the healing that I need is not going to just come from a doctor, It's like, I think I need, to find like a temple. And she's like, Tiffany goes to a temple every morning. She trains with a monk. And I'm like, what? I'm like, come on, are you serious? She's like, yeah. She's like, she goes every morning, 7 a.m. I'm like, no way. So Tiffany has cancer. She passed away 2 years ago, but that's what she was doing every morning. She would go see him and train. So I was like, I have no idea what this is about. So I'm excited. I'm like, she's like, yeah, call her. So I call her. I said, Tiff, in the mornings, do you go to a temple and see a monk? And she's like, yeah. She's like, yeah, every morning. She's like, you want to come? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, meet me there tomorrow, 7 a.m. So in 2 days, I think that this is impossible to happen. And then it comes to light. So I go to this temple, show up in, some workout clothes. She's like, just wear some loose fitting clothes. And it's in Bel Air, in A-Leaf, off Bel Air. And I show up, and this guy comes and greets me at the door. He's probably like 5'5". And I see Tiffany, and I look around, and it's just a big space with a bunch of artwork and stuff, and kind of partitioned off. And he looks at me. He's like, hey, how you doing? And Tiffany's like, hey. And she's like, this is Master. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? And she's there doing, training, QiGong. And I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to do? And he's like, just go stand over there and just do what we do. That, he starts showing me how to do these hand movements and how to practice QiGong. And I just started doing that 4 or 5 times a week, and with her. The funny thing is, the girl that I met for lunch, she was like, yeah. She's like, this guy moves her with his mind. She's like, he's, very much in tune with what they do. And, he can do things, like he can, and I'm like, he do things. She's like, yeah, like, he can, move things with his mind, and, and he moves Tiffany as well. I don't know nothing about none of this stuff. And I was like, okay, whatever. But as I started training, and what QiGong is, and your Chi energy, what it is this internal energy that you have. And you gain Chi from training, from meditation, and from practicing every day. And you are, it's like if you had a cup and you start training, and as you train, your cup gets more and more full.
Okay.
But you exert that energy. One of the biggest things, like what he explains, and when you have sex, you release Chi, and then you have to gain it back. But the biggest thing for them is that you train every day and gain this Chi. Now, if you have a cup that's full of Chi, and you train, or you have sex, or you don't train, you begin to lose your Chi. And as your Chi goes down further and further and further, and if all you're doing is giving it out by not training and not replenishing in it, then eventually you'll be at the bottom. And you have no Chi. And then that's when you get sick. When you have no Chi, and then you become negative. And you have nothing to protect you. And so what you do is, when you come into the temple, is the master that is there. He is a 32nd generation monk, Shaolin master. But a monk, is not no wife. He's not out on dates or nothing. So his Chi is always building. He is training every day. So his Chi is full. So what you can do is you can borrow, what QiGong is you can borrow some of his Chi until you can create your own. And you come in and you train under him, and you get yourself to the point where you start creating your Chi, and then you can go off on your own and do your own thing. So for example, when you do have, intercourse with a woman or whatever, I'm not sure if this has happened to you or not before, but a lot of times with women, when they afterwards, they are very much energized. Yeah. And they're ready, they're like, yo, oh my
Come
God.
On, let's go.
Yeah, I'm ready. Like, this is, this is me.
That's all you got?
Yeah, right. And this is because they're receiving. They're receiving from us, and we are giving to them. So as our energy depletes and we're like, we're bums because we're tired now because we done gave all we got to them, their energy levels are going up and ours is going down.
That makes so much sense, bro.
We have to replenish what we have. So, and this is why it's important to not give out your chi to just anyone, in any body.
Gotta save them goodies.
You have to, we always learn this later, but this is what he teaches, to be selective about who you decide to give that to. So this is what QiGong is about.
So if you enjoyed this short segment of the podcast, here's another short segment to watch if you click right here. Or if you want to watch the entire podcast, click over here.